quick notice before we start the video, my friend Star5321 is currently making a Q&A. You might remember him for being the other person with me while doing my random Skylanders gameplay videos. So if you love his videos, make sure to head over to his channel and put in a question for his Q&A, as long as it's not personal. Thank you very much. Now we may continue to the video.
Okay, Paleotrex. That's your name, right?
Uh-huh.
If you want to join our little group of ours, you need to have a history of not being important. You are quite recent.
Yeah, my toy was released last year.
Any gimmicks?
Well, I can weaponize all ya by breaking up my body.
Well, that's interesting. Scorn call Cyclonus fool. Scorn can't allow interesting member in gang.
Well, honestly, that's just about where my character stops.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, for starters, I didn't appear in the Netflix show, and I was only characterized as an entity that can randomly armor people up.
That is so boring. Congratulations! Welcome to the Insignificant Character Club, Paleotrex.
Sweet! Awesome!
Hello, it is I, Beyond a Hero, back with another video. And today, we have a toy review of Kingdom Waspinator and Paleotrex. Now, I love Transformers collecting, most notably Stereo Series, but because I was too focused on Stereo Series, I was kinda missing out on Kingdom. In fact, in general, I haven't really been paying too much attention to the War for Cybertron trilogy, apart from watching the pretty decent War for Cybertron cartoons. And so thus, the only Transformers which I own from that line is Siege Ironhide and Siege Starscream. Oh yeah, and I did have 3 Battlemasters, but I kinda lost them. Not like they didn't matter to me anyways. Anyways, before I open these bad boys, I'm going to take a look at the packaging. We have Waspinator, pretty great art of him, not gonna lie. When we look at the side here, with pretty much most of the major characters in the Kingdom cartoon. By the way, you'll see Scorponok later on in another video in due time. And then we have Waspinator and his ultimate in the back. Pretty damn excited for this figure, especially since Waspinator is one of my favorite Predacons in the Transformers Beast Wars cartoon. Next, we look at Paleotrex, who is a fossilizer. If we look at the top of the packaging, you can see there's the Predacon symbol. That's the same with Waspinator's packaging too. Then we can see at the back that we can see him and his ultimate, and also you can see the fact that he breaks up into tiny little pieces and can fuse with other Transformers in the Kingdom line, and that sounds like a really cool concept. Now, I'm just going to push our boy Paleotrex to the side, and first, I think it's only fair that we unbox the one, the only Waspinator. While unboxing Waspinator, I found the logo of the original Beast Wars promo material. Now that's some free nostalgia for 90s kids alike. Waspinator's instructions. The weapon is cleverly hidden at the back of the packaging, so let me just get that out. That looks nothing like his original weapon. And now, I have freed Waspinator from his packaging. One thing I already love about this figure is that you can fit his weapon into his tail, or you can make him wield his weapon the classic way. I then found something in the packaging called a golden discard, featuring the female Predacon Black Noraclia. Apparently they show you the future of a character, although I don't know how it can do that. Okay, now it's Paleotrex's turn. And now, Paleotrex has awoken. Here is Paleotrex's instructions, and oh my goodness, I'm already in love with this figure. The multiple swivels, the endless posability, and on and on. And yet again we have another golden disc card with the famous Autobots leader, Optimus Prime. Oh, so that's how you reveal the future of a character. You take off a sticker, right, that makes a lot of sense. First up, we have Waspinator, and upon switching up my light box, I can see that he has really good light piping, and upon fiddling around with him for a bit, I found out that he has pretty great articulation. So naturally, I took some photos of him, and I'm definitely going to hold Kingdom in high regards now, because this guy looks amazing. The details are so well crafted, from his bug eyes to his wasp tail. This figure is very impeccable. When it comes to posability, the figure is kind of top heavy though, and you need to kind of fiddle around with the feet in order to get him into a really cool pose. Another thing to mention is that his wasp kibble on his arms and legs kind of clash with each other sometimes, although this is understandable since he must, because one way or another, Waspinator does have to turn into, well, a wasp. We'll get into the alt modes a bit later. Other than those two gripes, this Waspinator is a really cool figure, and it's an almost faithful rendition to his cartoon appearance. Like, I swear this figure looks like a buffed up version of him. He must have been doing weights exclusively with a rock. Oh yeah, and before I forget, let's reveal the future of Black Norakria. Oh god, I can't pronounce the name. So as it appears, she might be reformatted by Unicron. Very interesting, I guess. Now we have Paleotrex, and I wasn't kidding when I said that this figure had great amounts of articulation. You can get him into a great variety of poses. And although Paleotrex kind of has no character, I can just feel his personality evoking out of him with every pose. And you might have noticed that he has a flip down helmet which pays homage to the original mutated heads from the original Beast Wars toys. Also, another added bonus is that he is a fossilizer, meaning that he can break himself up into little pieces. You know, I wonder what that reminds me of. And with Paleotrex's pieces, you can armor up other figures from the War for Cybertron line. Even Waspinator can armor up with Paleotrex. You know, as if Waspinator already had enough armor of the metaphorical kind. One big problem for me for Paleotrex is his absolutely tiny feet. Which means Paleotrex is also top heavy, but if you balance him correctly, he will look great on your shelf. Now, before we take a look at the beast modes, let's look at Optimus's future. Oh, he's lying out, all alone, in space, dying. Well, that's a bit dark. And now, it's about time we look at the alt modes. Let's start with Waspinator, and this really is a wasp, alright? I really despise the way these legs are laid out, and also there's some underside kibble, but that's natural for beast modes, but that's the only two detriments. I absolutely adore this wasp mode, not only because of the details that I mentioned earlier when talking about the robot, but also it's super expressive. You can either make the wasp mode look shocked and terrified, or you can just make him extremely angry. This wasp mode is great, but if they only fixed the legs, then it would have been perfect. Then we have Paleotrex's alt mode, parts forming hell for the transformation, but so worth it. Due to Paleotrex's many joints, this dinosaur mode is super posable. And I have to say, it's definitely my favorite dinosaur alt mode. My apologies, Studio Series Grimlock, but you've been outclassed. So, all in all, I really love those figures. Both of them have great robot modes and even greater beast modes. But if I was in a situation where I had to sell one figure and keep the other, then Paleotrex would be my choice to keep. Mostly because of his well-executed parts forming gimmick and his amazing dinosaur alt mode. Waspinator's not that far behind in terms of quality. In fact, he's a great figure too. It was just for wasp legs. Seriously, I hate these wasp legs. Either way, these two figures are glowing recommendations for me. And fortunately in the UK, they're still available in your local retailer. They are both readily available in the Entertainer and Smith Toys superstores. If you prefer to shop online, then don't panic, because as of this video, both figures are still available at Hasbro Pulse. And with that, I'm now going to try find a good display place for them. Oh, I don't have much space. You know, I'll just leave them on top of my Stereo Series leader class packagings. For now. Because I don't think there'll be much space for the both of them once the other guy arrives. Stay tuned.